CM, and we're going to touch on that at the end of this section. But there's a lot of things to talk about yesterday, footballing wise. But I wanted to speak a little bit about the outrage that's been seen online today. Gabriel shouting at Haaland is seen as wrong by Gary Neville, even though he literally said when Haaland scored, I think someone super chatted it. Neville, after Haaland scored, said he should go the other way towards Gabriel. In fact, he was advocating that Haaland should hurt him, put a tackle in on him, because the way he's wound him up all game. As we put up on the screen earlier, interestingly, Liverpool fans mishearing what songs were going on. Liverpool fans, as you can see here, fuming that a young player mocked the Haaland celebration. Rival fans, both from City and Liverpool, complaining about fans taking pictures in the crowd afterwards, complaining about the song being played at the end. It's just been a bit of a strange overreaction to Arsenal smashing Man City. Or are these call-outs towards Arsenal fair and correct?
They're absolutely ridiculous. First thing, you don't dictate how we celebrate. You have 90 minutes to dictate how we feel after the game, and if you can't do that, then you have no control how we celebrate. If we score a goal and we give it back to you after going after equalizing, if we go back and we go score 2 quick goals, and our player who scores his first career goal does whatever he wants to do, especially after you gave him all the lip service, which was celebrated from everybody back in September when Erling Haaland picked up the ball and threw it in Gabriel's head, or he told Arteta to be humble. Everybody celebrated it, but you get it back. If you can give it, you got to be able to take it. And that's what it is right here. You don't like it because somebody's giving it back to you. For too long, Manchester City have been giving lip service to everybody and backing it up with their performances. This is the first time where we told you, wait until you come to our house. And you came to our house and you got ran out. And you couldn't even hold your own for more than 60 minutes. And this is why you're angry. And when it comes to the rivals, the Liverpool fans, they're threatened. Or it's the Liverpool City thing, the connection that they have with City. They don't like City being disrespected or something like that. And then when it comes to the other teams, Tottenham fans, other fans, since when is it that a team has to win the league in February to celebrate a win? A 5-1 win versus the champions of last season. You beat any former champion 5-1 in a season, best believe everyone's going to be celebrating.
This was a massive journalist that put this out, and this tweet has had over 1 million views, where he says all the Arsenal gloating and stay humble stuff works if you're 10 points clear or something, not if you're 6 behind, having played a game more and haven't won a title for 2 decades. Are we going, and that's a Liverpool journalist, by the way, so that isn't a City fan who's upset, but is that the direction we're going in football now, where you could only celebrate big wins if you're clear at the top or you've won the Premier League in recent years? Is that a fair bit of... You're a Liverpool fan. That's from a Liverpool journalist, Tom. It's your fans that are saying this. Like, why do you think so many Liverpool fans are pushing this narrative today?
I don't know. I don't get why that our fans would be threatened. The weekend's gone and nothing has changed in the league table. We are still 6 points ahead with the game in hand. We're still perfectly fine. We got through a game that we were apparently supposed to drop points in, and it doesn't make any sense to me. I think that the way football is going, because of social media and stuff, the reason why people are saying that, you can't do that stuff, all that's going to happen for Arsenal is if they don't win the league this season, everything that happened yesterday is going to be thrown in their face at the end of the season with it. The whole stay humble, this, that, and the other. You did all that and you didn't go and win the league anyway. People seem to forget. I hate the way football's going, that you can't enjoy anything now. You're not allowed to enjoy football. You've got to wait until 38 games being played, and then that what happens at the end, the league table, how many points you got, that dictates how much you can enjoy what you've done. You're not allowed to enjoy it in the moment. You're not allowed to enjoy it in the immediate aftermath. It's very much just a case of one number at the end of the season defines how much you can enjoy a season, how much you can enjoy your team. Arsenal have every right to celebrate like that. 100% they do. They've beaten Manchester City 5-1 at home. That's a result that, obviously City haven't been great this year, but still, it's a great result for them this season, especially after what happened early this season. The only thing is, rival fans want to be able, at the end of the season, to throw this all back in their face and go, you done all this, you over-celebrated, yada, 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 and you didn't win the league. In the same way that when Odegaard took the photo with the photographer last year, which was another situation where Arsenal celebrated and it got blew out of proportion. The moment you didn't win the league, that just got thrown back in your face. That's what the rival fans want. They want to be able to sit there at the end of the season and go, haha, you over celebrated too early. You got too cocky, this, that, and the other.
I think it's even deeper than that. When you think about Arsenal and Manchester United, they're two clubs who people have been making jokes about over the last 5 to 6 years. And now that you see Arsenal separating themselves from the Tottenhams and these clubs that have been making fun of us for the last couple of years, and you see us higher up the table challenging for the league and getting and winning these type of games, beating Chelsea 6-0, winning this game versus City 5-1, having these performances away from home and getting convincing wins against you guys. It's almost like you need anything that you can hold on to try to criticize us, because you can't criticize our performances against you because we're beating them.
Did you know what? I think the only real response to all of that is, I got 5 on it. Can we play you every week? I got 5 on it. Kelly and Wanieri. Hey, that's all we need to say to them, because Terry asked a very important question at the start of this segment. He said, are we surprised at what's going on? No one is surprised there. It comes with the territory in it. Like, for Liverpool fans, I'm surprised about that one to an extent. But the City fans, I'm not surprised. Like, Terry, if your boy came home and said some guys outside snatched my chain, would you not be upset? Like, Haaland got his chain snatched at the Emirates. Obviously, the City fans are going to be upset. The celebration, the shithousery, all of that. At the end of the day, we all play a game of football. Someone said in the comment section that when City were celebrating the draw, they were 10 points behind us or something like that. I don't know if that's factual, but they were definitely behind us. But they were celebrating the draw. No one was talking about it then. But if Arsenal celebrating a 5-1 win against the team that I think in the last 18 games we've only won one, other than last night, of course we're going to be excited. And I heard people saying that we're celebrating like we're top of the league or we've won the league. I promise you guys, if Arsenal win the league, you'll see that's what the celebration really looks like. That's nothing. That is nothing. And yes, as Tom was saying, football is becoming a scenario where you can't enjoy your club's wins. You have to wait end of the season, however it looks. If you don't win, just say better luck next time. No, for me, at the end of the day, everyone's a human being. You can enjoy your club however you want. I enjoy watching my club score goals and win matches. And every time those two things happen, I'm going to celebrate like crazy. And if people want to hate about that, so be it. We'll keep celebrating at the end of the day.
Do you know what I find interesting for me? It's the celebration police stuff, which I find
it's crazy,
frustrating, because it's such an important part of football. And if we suddenly remove celebrations, it kills football. How far do you take it? Do you get to a point where you don't celebrate goals? You know, there's a Liverpool fan in the comment section. I know he's a Liverpool fan. He's told me before. No, he might not be. No, he might have been. No, he's not a Liverpool fan. Sorry, but he says you can't banter us if you finish behind us. And a lot of Liverpool fans have been pushing this notion today, but Liverpool fans still speak about beating us 4-1 at Old Trafford in 2009, in a season where we completed a three-peat, right? And that's fair. They beat us 4-1. They bashed us that day, and they should hold on to that. All of you have games that you remember in seasons where you didn't win the league, that still, if you see it now, or it comes up in conversation, it gives you a warm feeling inside. This has been part of the culture, the most important culture in England. That's football culture for 140 years. People will say Terry's doing it to defend Arsenal. Again, that's a toaster person opinion. I'm doing it to defend football, because if the sort of celebration police get their way and no one celebrates these big wins, especially when it's a team, whether it's been a long-standing rival or it's a new rivalry with, especially in games like that, we start removing the celebrations, the goal celebrations, the needle between players, the needle between fans. It becomes problematic. Now, I get City fans being angry. They got beat yesterday. It's the Liverpool fans' reaction that I find strange beyond belief, because they've had massive results in recent years that I've seen them all go crazy and celebrate, and they didn't win the league. And it's the hypocrisy of it.
I think that's what it is, though, Terry. I think sometimes you have to realize, like, you know, when someone's projecting something like they're projecting their own insecurities in it onto Arsenal fans. The fact that they've had these massive wins, they've, you know, when you've been there, you've been in that position before, so you're trying to tell them something from experience. Liverpool fans are at that point where they remember when they beat you 7-0, they remember when they done all these big wins, but it didn't lead to anything big for them at the end of the season. So now they're like projecting onto Arsenal fans. They're like, you're not allowed to celebrate the win. You got to win something first. It's because that's what happened to them.
It's crazy.
That's
it's
exactly
also,
what
if
happened.
you're gonna
Like you can win anything in February.
I get why they do it, but it's something that everybody should be pushing. Like Tom has done it. Everybody's got to push back against it because it's an important part of being a fan. At the end of the day, especially if you're at the ground and at home, the amount of money we all spend to watch the damn thing. Imagine not enjoying it. And this is why I say to fans that have that belief, it literally means you could be watching football and entertaining football, scoring goals, winning games, but because you don't win a trophy, you spend 50 games miserable.
No, but even that, Terry, when I started watching football, I was seeing parades for League Cups, Cup Winners' Cups, and no one is saying anything. They're enjoying it, embracing it. Now you're not even allowed to enjoy, like, man, you weren't even allowed to enjoy a trophy win. It might not be the biggest trophy. I hear that.
Oh, don't worry.
Like,
me and George will. We
celebrate,
beat
bro.
Liverpool.
But then a few years, the thing is, people have always like bantered
Weird,
things, but the banter's always been there. But the mainstream and normal people would play it down. So you'd always get a bit of response. Oh, why are you celebrating the Carabao Cup? It's crap. That's always existed in my life. But the majority, everybody else, the mainstream media, everyone go, shut up, you tits. Now you've got the mainstream media saying, no, they're pushing the narrative that celebrating these big wins is bad. Right. For me, that is a terrible way to educate the young fans. And for me, it's wrong. It's crazy. And even these pundits that are doing it, I remember when you guys were players, you celebrated normal wins, everyday wins. But they're pushing this weird notion. Gav here in the comments says, celebrate those big wins and the season-defining ones. Absolutely. If Arsenal can, Nobbins is here with us now. If Arsenal can banter in a celebration, why can't people banter them back? But this isn't about banter. One of those tweets I put up there is now in an article from a prominent journalist with over 1 million people reading it. That ain't fucking banter. That is a genuine opinion. That isn't banter. Banter would be, there was a City fan on the watch songs like, get your medals out, Skelly. Show us what you won. That's a little bit of banter. That's him. That's funny. A professional journalist or an ex-player sitting on the biggest football TV show in the world saying celebrating a win is wrong. That isn't banter, Dan Carlito. That is not banter. That is ridiculous. And we should not be policing the celebrating of fans, especially the majority are working class people that spend thousands of pounds supporting their football club. To tell them not to have a little bit of fun after a big win, I think it's sacrilegious and an abomination to the sport that we love. I really do.
Negativity in the world. You have one vice, football, maybe, and people are trying to take that joy from you. It's crazy.
And it's also funny coming from Liverpool fans who celebrated a draw versus West Bromwich Albion, as you said earlier.
Yeah, and they were right to on that day. There was a reason. There was something growing, and I get it.